Alright, so the first thing we're going to do is we're going to remove this trim. We'll get it out of the way so that we don't break it, and we won't need it till later on anyway. Now the next thing you're going to need is this product called Barkeeper's Friend. You can use vinegar instead, you can use just water. I prefer this product because it's cheap. This whole jar was about $2. You can get it from Canadian Tire here in Canada, and I'm sure it's carried at Home Depot and all those big box stores as well. You'll also need a sponge. So the way I apply this product is I pour it onto a sponge, the sponge being wet, and then I rub it onto the glass. So I'm going to go ahead and do that now. So I pour it on just like that. I wet the sponge. I should have wet the sponge first, but there you go. Rub the powder on. It really makes easy work of cleaning that first layer of dirt off. There's still gonna be some spots that you'll have to go over with a razor blade to fully clean up, but this saves a lot of time, I find. Alright, so once you give it a good rub down, then you want to rinse it off. So I'm going to go do that, and I'll be right back. Alright, now that it's all cleaned up, the next step is to remove all of the old silicone. To do so, you're going to need a few things. You need these razor blades, and then some sort of a holder for them. I find that these two holders get me through almost every tank. Sometimes I need this one, sometimes I need this one, depending on where the spot is, but between these two I can get through almost every tank. I also use my Olfa blade to get into the corners and pull the corners out. So let's get started. It's good to just get some sort of a starting point and go with it. I'll bring you guys in for a closer look. Now after you've gotten all the big chunks of silicone, you're going to want to go around and make sure that all of it is removed from all the joints. The best way to do it is to just have a good light and light up each spot individually, and if it looks like there might be some silicone there, give it a good scrape and see if anything comes up. The new silicone won't bond properly to the old silicone, so that's the reason you need to get it all out of there. This silicone came off really easy off this tank. When that happens, you can kind of know that you were right for removing it. Alright, once you have the main bead of silicone removed, you're gonna need to clean up all of the chunks and pieces that are left over in here. And you're also gonna need to go around all the edges and make sure that you've removed all of the silicone from the seams. So I'm gonna go ahead and clean this up and get it ready for the next step. Now the next step is to use some sort of acetone. I use nail polish remover to remove the residue that's left over from the silicone. So I'm gonna go ahead and do that now. The next step is to use this tape to tape off all the seams so that you can do a nice clean bead. So I'm going to get started on that now. Alright, now that it's all taped up, we're ready for some silicone. I use GE Silicone 1, the clear version, and you just put on a thin bead and then spread it out with your fingers after. Once you have a nice even bead, you want to go ahead and take off the painter's tape and let it dry for about 24 hours before you water test it. I went ahead and put on the top trim. I just put a little bead of silicone in all four corners and then stuck it on. And then once the silicone was dry, I water tested it and it tested good, so the tank's ready to go.